Dennis, the active trend trader. Are you one of the traders who has a difficult time finding great growth stocks to trade every weekend? Well, we've got the answer in today's video. Welcome to How to Make Money Trading Stocks and Options. We're going to cover three things. Our panel of expert traders has picked out 3 top shelf growth stocks that are setting up and ready potentially to trade next week. Number 2, an analysis of the indexes, showing which ones are strongest, which ones are weakest, and what the potential is for a move next week. And then we'll also cover another trading problem or issue that you may be having, and we'll provide an answer to that will help you, 1, maximize your profits and minimize your losses. So let's get into today's session right now. Hey, good afternoon, everybody. This is Dennis Wilborn. Also joining me is Anil Parikh from Delaware and Steve Ferreira from basically kind of closer to downtown Honolulu than I am. Welcome, gentlemen.
You're welcome. Nice to be here.
And so we were just joking around, you know, as we believe that we are becoming, you know, as time passes, we're not getting older, we're becoming more distinguished. And so got some good stock picks for us today. I basically have a question to kind of kick the day off. And so please be thinking about this. If you're joining us on YouTube, you can basically just leave a comment in the comment section. And also, if you are joining us live on the Zoom meeting, just leave a comment. And the question is, basically, is what one thing will you change about your trading going into June that you've learned from, you know, that you've learned for the through the first part of this year? So what one thing are you going to change about your trading to become a better trader going forward in June? And if you want to, you can just you can put in drop a note. Yeah, please, share with everybody. Just put that in the comment section of the chat box, because I don't pay attention to the Q&A section. So in the chat box, go ahead and just drop. And so, Steve, what one thing, you know, you are constantly learning. What one thing will you change? You know, are you going to basically change about your trading going into June?
I'm going to focus more on weekly charts, longer term charts, to get a better idea of trend and places to try to buy well within the trend. Okay.
And Anil?
I think I'm going to stick to the strategy 100%. A few times in the year, I kind of diverted from my strategy and got penalized. So I'm not going to do that anymore. I'm just going
Welcome to the club, Anil. Welcome to the club.
Because, I know, you know, I know sometimes we've been trading a long time. I know sometimes I look back and just kind of kick myself in the butt going, if I would have just followed, you know, if I would have just left those stop losses in place, like my rules require me,
right,
I would have had all this extra money. And so, you know, one of the things that is very clear. So if you want to maximize your profits, minimize your losses, active trend trading is designed for traders just like you. It's tested, proven, and a clear and simple system designed to what? Show you what to buy. And I focus on top growth stocks and ETFs, and when and where to enter, when and where to exit, and what to expect. So today's session, we zip through a market index. We're going to save you time. I'm really impressed with the stocks that we've picked so far this year, gentlemen. They are doing well. Anil and Steve's pick last week were just through the roof. And so again, we provide 3 stocks every week. Please, just, you know, let your friends and neighbors know about this if they are interested in trading stocks. And so you'll get some really great stock opportunities if you want to parallel trade with us. Remember that what we do is for training purposes. Traders should always pay per trade any new method prior to the risk of their own personal capital. I am really pleased I know a lot of people who follow the active trend trading system, they were going, oh my gosh, Dennis, those first 3 months of the year, as you can see from my P&L statement here, they were absolutely disgusting. Not they were disgusting. What happened was the system was actually working the way it was supposed to and getting us out of trade to protect us from further downside losses. Excellent. As you can see, the last 2 months, April, May, this is the last trading day in May. Just remember that. We basically, the accelerated compounding that I utilize with the active trend trading system has started to kick in very nicely. And so I'm anticipating, no P&L statement goes up, in a straight line. So we are, we're making progress. My objective every year is to do 40% with a 65% win-loss ratio. My average for the last 10 years has been 36%. So we're coming pretty close to it. Last year in 2020 was an excellent year. We did over 70%. Some of our members did well above that. I know some have done actually over 100% last year, which I'm really glad for. So as you can see here, this is where we're sitting, and this is inclusive of both open and closed positions. So I'm up about 12%. And as you can see, we finally have eclipsed the S&P, which we compare things to. So let's take a look at the indexes, and then we'll get into the individual stock choices. And there was my choice from last week. So let's take a look at SPY. And I've got a weekly chart on the left and a daily chart on the right. What is happening? Basically, we are running up against a level of past resistance, and we are not busting through. Is that going to mean, so what's going to happen from there? We are showing some, let me get my drawing tools up, we are showing some negative divergence, which we have to at least be aware of, in that the daily TSI is well below some of these past highs. However, it's actually still a little bit below that high right there. And so what does that tell us? It basically says, we've got some cross signals. If we bust out of here and clear that high, right, from those 2 days right there, then I think we basically are in track for a move up. The way I will trade this, we are in an uptrend. I cannot deny that. What I'll look for is what I normally look for is what moving average is basically supporting the uptrend move. And as you see here, the 50-day on the S&P has done a good job of supporting the uptrend. We may find that it will be the 20-day or the 34-day or just this uptrending line. Look for a pullback into those areas before you jump onto a trade on the spiders. Right now, I'm not buying the spiders or the S&P simply because we're right up. It's bumping its head against resistance. It may break through that ceiling. It may not break through that ceiling. Next. The Nasdaq. Now, Anil said a little bit earlier that he's finding a lot of stocks or several Nasdaq stocks that are starting to show some potential signals to the upside. What are we seeing here? Well, one of the things that the Nasdaq has done for us is we took out that swing high right there. So we have a new high in place. This low right here is, it counts as a higher low, even though it really came back and really tested close to the prior low, but we're pushing up further. Now we cannot neglect looking at, we have a whole level, and it's a fairly significant level that lasted over several weeks and several days, a level of supply where that could push the prices back down. At the same time, Nasdaq still is in a uptrend like the S&P. So I'll be looking for a pullback into the moving averages. We've got the tripled moving averages, actually forward moving averages, all there within a stone's throw of each other. That's where I'll put an alert to be able to take a trade in the Qs, or the Nasdaq and or the Qs. The other place, if I get a run back up into this level of resistance, that's where I'd be looking for a downside trade, a short. It would be a counter trend trade, but recognize that that would also reflect a multiple type of entity, type of pattern, where that could spin us down and drop us down further. Where I think the market is trying to get itself out of the weeds and out of the woods, it's not there yet. Last but not least, one of my, and I really like the Russell. I love to trade the Russell. I love to trade IWM. As you can see with IWM, what is it doing for us today? Well, one, it finally has broken out of the moving averages, broken out of the trend line, but where the heck's it going? Every one of these points on the way up, you see a bearish engulfing over here. That is a level of past demand, which now is past is supply, and these higher levels over here. Each of those reflect an area where prices could turn around. Pay attention to, on a situation like this, pay more attention to where does the level begin. As you can see, it begins right kind of in that area there. And if you take today's high, I'm going to go ahead and just take today's high and extend that to the right, to the left, excuse me, always look to the left. We extend that over to the left off of today's high. Where is it? Come on, there we go. That's pretty close. As you can see, today's high is butting its head right up against the past levels of supply, if you will, or where you would anticipate sellers to be. Now, let me explain, and Steve and Anil can validate this because I know they both follow Wyckoff, is that the price action will continue to push up against an area of supply where there's sellers sitting until the sellers are exhausted, and in other words, no longer there. Then that's what then will allow the momentum to propel us through that level to challenge the next higher level. And so that's what we're looking at having. And so that's what I've got on the indexes, gentlemen. Of the three, I'm kind of liking the Russell, simply because it looks like it's trying to turn around at a support level momentum-wise on the longer-term momentum of the weekly, which is a very strong, bullish indicator. And let me just double-check one thing. Yes, getting the same type of thing on the Qs on the weekly chart, and I think this is where you're probably getting some of those. And again, the S&P has still been acting the strongest because it's reversing up off the positive 42 level. So momentum's looking to be favoring a continuation to the upside. We just need for it to give us a good sound pullback so that we can play in the game. Gentlemen, that's what I've got. What you think?
Don't disagree, Ed. You're right on. We're still on a cusp. We need some time to for the market to play out.
Cool. Anil?
I lean bullish, but we're certainly in no man's land right now.
Right on.
Yeah, I'm getting bullish signals on QQQ and SPY, and Dow is already continuing in the bullish trend. I haven't had a bearish signal for a while.
Yeah, I know that. And let me throw up the Dow really quick because I really don't pay that much attention to the Dow because I watch the other one. And there's the Dow. Yeah, the Dow and the S&P are acting very similar to each other. So pretty cool. So who's ready for? Okay, Catherine, I want to thank you so much for Kathy. Thank you so much for providing your answer. Come on, guys. What are you waiting for? What's the one thing that you've learned at the beginning of the year that you'll be applying to become a better trader in June going forward? I know, Mike Norton, you've been working on this. Warren, Rocco, I'll call you out, guys. You know, we're all friends here, so let us know. Okay, cool. Eric, thank you. That's a good one. Hey, Elsie. And so, patience. Yeah, I don't pick on anybody who's new to the group, though, right? I mean, I really don't. I wait until I recognize your name for one, and then I will, I'll pick on you. And so, okay, hey, let's go over, and I am so excited. Okay, who went first last week?
I can't remember.
Okay, Steve, you get to go first today because
Okay.
I know because Anil is going to throw a curveball at me, so I got to be ready. So
Okay.
tell us what you've got going on.
I like it's a trade that's been working for a while, on and off, or in and out of it. I like FCX. It's Freeport McMoran. It's been on the IBD 50 a few times, but mostly it's not on the list.
Okay.
But I like its long-term weekly trend on the weekly chart. It's been an uptrend since about August of last year, and it continues to trudge along. It's a bit extended in terms of time, but I think it's still a valid trend. And we had a nice buying opportunity yesterday and today on a daily chart. And it had a little bit of a gap up yesterday on good volume, reduced volume today, but I think it's still buyable.
Okay.
We're through the short-term moving averages, and I think it can be bought today. You could wait till Monday. A lot of ways to trade this.
Yeah, I mean that's a great looking FCX. What kind of?
It's basically a play on copper. We had a bit of a correction in copper.
Yeah.
They're a resource miner mainly in copper and gold.
Okay.
And I see it as a copper play. And as the economy rolls out even further, we should have more and more demand for copper.
Yeah, and this goes right along, Steve. I would concur. This goes right along with what we've been seeing in XOP, which is a mineral and oil exploration.
Right.
Let me find it. XOP, which has also been up strong and is still moving up because we got our active trend traders, the autopilot leverage ETF. We basically got folks in on the Gush play. That is the 3-time leverage ETF. We got them in at, let me take a look at that real quick. We help folks get into that one at, we've got a bazillion. Glad I have 3 screens. Well, actually, I'm not glad I have three screens, but
6 is the minimum.
So, Gush, we got into Gush at $74.16, and I think we got in on part of the trade a little bit lower than that. So as you can see, Gush is up to 82. So we've added about almost $10 onto that move up. So excellent. So great pick, Anil. Okay, you're going to throw a curveball at me. I'm ready.
Yeah, ready? Okay. I'm picking Tiger. That's T as in Tom, I, G as in girl, R. It just showed up very ranking on my system.
I'm sorry, P-I-G-R?
Yeah. Tom, India, girl, Romeo.
Oh, Tiger. Got it. Thank you. Well, I like the ticker already, so.
It's very strong. And as I said, normally I don't go for Chinese stocks. It's maybe a bias or.
Okay.
But this one, my system says go for it. So there we are.
Yeah. because this one is a holding company, is online brokerage firms focusing on global Chinese investors. So
Yep.
excellent. And so would you buy now, or would you wait for a slight pullback, or what's your
Buy now. I got a triple screen signal on it, and so buy now.
And your stop loss would be 5% or more?
About 7%. This is more volatile, but we'll see.
Okay. So just keep an eye, guys, okay. So the moving averages are about 10+% away, or 13% away to the 8-day, 11% away from the 8-day. And so, yeah, it looks like it's really, looks like it's great. Are we getting a full, we're really close to a breakout area. So if you're following this one, I would, make sure you add it to your list, and then look if you want to buy now, buy now. If you want to wait for a pullback, just wait for a pullback into those areas. Or if you're using the Keltner channels like we do, you can also wait for a pullback towards the lower Keltner channel, since we are in a sideways move. Good pick. I like it. So here's mine. I had a hard time. Warren, yeah, we'll take a look at that. Ford's doing some crazy stuff, and I jumped into Ford as a test trade to do sell covered calls on. I've been doing just an absolutely terrible job selling covered calls on it, to be straight up and transparent. But Ford itself has been going really nutso. I got into Ford about $10.50. Here's mine. Futu, it has passed earnings. I've got a really great signal on the weekly chart. I've got my momentum also turning around on the weekly chart. Futu also has, I think it's like 98% rating through Investor Business Daily, with a accumulation distribution of, I think it's either a A- or an A. So I'm really liking that. And Anil, I give you a shout out because you got me turned on to doing that, watching that accumulation distribution factor. And let me tell you, that has just saved my bacon. That's what helped us switch around, because I'll only accept stocks now that have the acceptable accumulation distribution, and that's what helped get rid of a lot of the whipsaw that we were seeing earlier in the year. So
that's great. That was one of my big findings last year.
Yeah, and so I like this. I prefer to do this off of the moving averages, and as you can see, the moving average is kind of right in the middle of this weekly big green candle. So right there about I'll look to buy this somewhere about 133 to 135. Anticipating a move to continue up. As we see, we've had intermittent buying over the 50-day average on buying volume. So again, that's a nice strong stock, and I like it to continue on to the upside. And this is one heck. And as you see, and the other thing I'll point out to you before we jump on to the next aspect is that if you look at the past performance or past personality of this stock, what is it? It'll run up, kind of go sideways, but not lose a lot. It'll run up a little bit, go sideways a little bit, then it'll run up, and then it'll go sideways a little bit. And so it may be getting to that point where it's ready to start erupting to the upside again. So I like Futu. And so are either of you, what do you think?
Yeah, I got triple screen buy signal on Futu yesterday.
Cool.
So it's,
I like it a lot, but I would wait for a bit of a pullback.
Okay.
On the daily.
Yeah, I would like to. That's what I said, Steve. I would prefer to buy it probably about 130, somewhere between 134 and 135.
Okay,
which would be right here on the moving averages.
Yeah, I don't know about what level, but I would see price actions showing a pullback and then an emergence of buyers.
Yeah.
After the pullback.
And so the Now, a trade like this might lend itself, since we are past earnings, that's one of the other reasons why I like it, is could lend itself to do some kind of a spread. We did, Jeff. We traded Futu in early April. I think we made a little, I can't remember if we made a little bit of a profit. I think we did. I can tell you right now.
This is a Chinese company, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so. I think they are. Yeah, they're. You know, we all have our druthers, and I'll trade Chinese companies if they're primarily from Hong Kong.
Right. Okay.
It's my blow. That's my blow for freedom. Anyway. So, are either of you guys trading? Are either of you guys trading? Carol, did you have something to say, or did you want to make a comment? Okay. Warren brings up a really, what I think is a really great stock in the automotive area, which is, believe it or not, Ford. Ford has, you know, they're working on a new, they're working on, you know, the electric vehicle thing. And like I said, I got into Ford down right in this area here where it was bouncing around $11, and it zipped up, and again with the intention to sell covered calls against it. And I've been doing that, but it's been so whippy. That's been a challenge to do that, but I'm still in it, still hanging on to it. And I'm up about, if I would have just held on to the stocks from this area over here, the stocks by themselves, from where I entered, which was about there, to where price is actually is up about 39%. So the thing that brings home is oftentimes you can find 25, 30% winners in unlikely places. And at the time I entered the trade on Ford, it was one of the top areas. I'm still looking at Tesla for premium members. I'm looking at Tesla. I want to trade Tesla to the downside. I'm just waiting for the setup because my technical analysis tells me that Tesla will be, by the middle of January to February, will be down to about $250.
Whoa. Okay.
Okay, and I'm on record. I've been on record for a long time. That's that. Now things can change technically. So hey, great job, guys. I really appreciate that. Let's close it out for today. So hey, June 1st, that's next Tuesday. You know, we find that our mindset as a trader will either propel us to success or it will repel you from success. This gentleman here is Michael Lamott. He has basically been recognized as one of the best trading mindset coaches in the United States. And he has agreed to make a presentation to the Bay Area moneymakers at 4:30 in the afternoon Pacific, because he is from Long Island and on the East Coast. But I want to invite everybody to come and listen to what Mike has to say. He wrote this awesome book called The Mara Mind Shift Guide. And what that is to help us shift our mindset, because that is, like I said, once you kind of get the mechanics of trading, the thing that is the biggest stumbling block that I find is your mindset. So this is a guide. This is a workbook that he has. If you join us on YouTube, you'll find a link to my book list on Amazon. And as I send out the notification on for the recording on today's session. I'll also include that link in there. But anyway, great things, for Anil and Steve, or any other Investor Business Daily meetup group, leader, please invite people to come watch Michael. Michael was involved as one of the organizers of the New York City IBD meetup group, and which are still waiting to get back in grip. A really great guy, marathoner, runs a lot, and so again, let me know if you want to know more about it. Just drop me a note.
I got a quick question. People have to register for this thing. I want to publicize this in my meetup, and what should I?
Yeah,
how do I publicize this thing?
Right here is basically if they will go to, and I'm glad you asked, if people will go to the Bay Area Moneymaker meetup website and go to this particular
link here. Okay.
Yeah. And basically the link right there will take you exactly to the event. And let me just show you where exactly that specifically is, if I can.
Somehow I lost you. Okay.
Bam, meetup. There we go.
So let me write this thing down. www.
Here, let me, what I'll do is let me send that out, and I'll basically give you the link specifically for how to, where to find that at, if that will help. Oh, come on, Dennis. There we go. There you go. Neil, it is going to be sent out to everybody. Here is the link that'll take you to the IBD meetup group and events. Excuse me. You go to the next event, which is this one here. Click there. And it's an online event. Go right here, click right here, and it will basically take you to the Zoom so you can register for the Zoom. Okay?
All right.
Excellent. So I just sent out that link to everybody. And so let's go ahead and close this down and say, I want to say, Steve and Anil, thank you guys so much. As usual, 2021, it's been different than 2020 with regarding how we trade. But at the same time, I know both of you guys are doing well with your trading, and we expect to continue that moving forward. So as we close out today, remember 2021 is about consistency, discipline, wealth building. So continue to grow your egg. And one of the other things that, I was talking to Michael on the phone the other day, and he said, rather than making consistency a goal, this is something worth writing down. Rather than making consistency in trading a goal, make consistency your standard, which is basically, that's the way we want to do business. So I thought that was pretty wise for a young guy. No, anyway. So for premium members, we'll be back top of the hour for the final hour. And so from our house to yours, aloha, trade well and prosper. Start building now. And if you're joining us on YouTube, please subscribe, hit the bell. We are really close to having 700 members on our subscribers on our YouTube channel. So help us this weekend take it over the 700 subscriber number. You can find great trading and trading videos over there. So Steve and Anil, thank you very much, my friends. We'll move. We'll see you guys next week.
Always a pleasure, Dennis.
Okay, thank you.
Again, have a great weekend.
Okay, God bless everybody. Aloha.